This sucks.
No, don't go. Stay. Just listen for a little bit.
Isn't this just another scam?
No, it's not a scam, I promise. Just listen.
Okay, I'ma listen. But this better be good.
I promise. Just listen for a little bit. Welcome to the #1 interactive podcast, Philosophy of, for, and by the people, where the people are the hosts, where the people are the guests, where the people are the sponsors. Hey, don't go. Don't go. Maybe you are the guest today. Who knows? We're gonna have fun and learn. Don't go. Stay here. Philosophy of, for, and by the people. Here we are once again. Episode 1 after the intro. Yup, we decided we have to keep moving. We made a mistake, or I made a mistake. First time I am throwing myself out there, waiting for people to join. We cannot wait for people to join because we are brand new. When you are brand new, you just gotta keep working, putting stuff out there, posting, doing whatever you gotta do, because after people see that you are really into it, that you are serious, that's when people come. So even though we had the intro, people probably didn't get it as they should have, or not enough people saw it. We want people to know that we kept going. So whoever sees the intro and the future, you know what they can do. They can be like, wow, there was a great intro, a great concept, and the guy kept going. He didn't stop. So that's what we're gonna do. We have one submission. We were waiting for 5, 6, 7, but I was like, you know what, we cannot waste time, because time is precious. We will never have time ever again, or rather this time, we will never see it ever again. Like, it will never come back. And that's a whole topic we could have any day. This time that's happening right now will go, and we will never, ever again in our lives get to see it again. So, with that being said, let's just jump into it. Let's just have right away the first submission ever for our first episode. Comes from Chilla Sec. And here you guys have it. Hopefully we're making history right now at this moment. Hopefully this goes for the books, for the records, and hopefully a lot of people come to this. Once we grow, once we blow up, once we have thousands and thousands of people following, then they can come back and be like, wow, look, that's the first submission ever. And so, yes, hopefully we're making history here. Here goes the first submission ever in the history of, for, and by the people. And there we go. Here it comes.
Well, Shilasek here. I think this concept is an amazing, beautiful concept. Great potential. I see great opportunity for new creators that are coming up that nobody knows about. You know, the fact that nobody knows about you and that you've been out there 1 week, 2 weeks, a month, and you still have a lot of people following does not mean that you're not good enough, or that you don't have great value to offer. But in this day and age in which the internet is so saturated with so much content, it might be difficult for people to find you specifically. But once people find you specifically, if you have content which is so much different than all the others, and which offers so much value, so much more value than all the others, then you are sure to capture the attention of that person that's listening, and they will come to you again and again, as long as you keep offering that genius greatly, highly valuable content. So obviously, now we are starting now. You're starting out here, and obviously, people usually, unfortunately, are developing with the internet the herd mentality, the mentality in which you have to see a whole bunch of people following, giving likes, sharing, liking, and subscribing in order for you to subscribe. So because of that, I believe you must continue and not wait for people to follow and subscribe and like the concept, but you must continue giving value and providing and creating every day, because people will see eventually. And not only see, but you need first and foremost the people with vision, the few ones that can see before the huge amount of crowds can see. The few ones, the visionaries, the ones that can see, understand, and grasp value before the masses can grasp value. You need to get to those first, and those few ones will come, and then because of those few ones, then another few little less visionary but still capable of seeing value and future and potential in things even from the beginning, they will come. And then the third layer of those who are visionaries and see, but not as much, would come once they see this like 10, 20, 25. And then you can continue from layer to layer until you are able to organically expose the great content to the masses. And that's the topic I wanted to discuss, the mentality which the internet is creating in the masses, in which people are letting the masses think for them. People are letting likes and views be the guidance on what they see, what they like, what they share, what they think of, what they consume. So the topic I want to bring to the front is people and their ability to think, rationalize, and make decisions. So this is my piece. This is my opinion. Hopefully it gets up there, which should. Obviously, I'm the only one right now that's seeing the vision and believing. And I believe in it. I see a great potential. And that's my part. You can follow me at Shillasec in every social network. That's CHILLASEC. Shillasec. And that's my part. Thank you for having me.
Beautiful. That's great. That was great insight, great intuition. Thank you, Shilasek. After seeing this comment, I was obviously motivated to keep going. That was not only very insightful, but there was a lot of inspiration and motivation to continue regardless of the numbers, to continue regardless of being brand new, of competition, of saturation, of people not being able to see this yet. And I absolutely agree that the internet is bringing a small type of problem. It could really lead to a lot of people allowing, as the message said, allowing the masses to think for them, allowing the numbers to lead them to what they're gonna see or what they're gonna listen to. A lot of people are incapable of seeing value, like the act of finding value before it blows up, before it becomes something everybody likes. I believe it's a skill, a talent. It's an ability that whoever has it will be very successful in the future, or now, or whenever, because it seems as if the internet is forcing people to stop using their reasoning, as was said in the clip by Shilasek. It's kind of like forcing people to not want to think what is good and what is bad, but to allow all these engines and platforms to be like, oh, you should be watching this because this has a lot of likes, because this has a lot of views, because this has a lot of comments, so this is what you should be watching. And it's also at the same time, on that same token, telling or teaching people that, oh, this doesn't have a lot of views, this doesn't have a lot of likes, it doesn't have a lot of subscribers, it doesn't have a lot of comments, therefore this should not be as good as that other thing which has much more views and comments and subscribers. But that's not true. Any philosopher, any person who can rationalize at higher levels than average can easily see and understand that the fact that something has more likes and views does not mean that that one thing has more value than something that doesn't have as many likes and or views. Like, for example, let's say you see a video of a prank which is very funny, very entertaining, which is crazy, like a crazy funny prank that makes you laugh, like, and makes you go like, what the heck, how the hell did they do that? Like, they are crazy out of their mind. Okay, you see that, and because of how crazy it is, it might have hundreds of thousands of views. But then you also have a free lecture of Harvard on physics, and then you might see that lecture has what? I bet you it would have like 300-400 views, maybe a few thousand views compared to millions and millions, and a few likes, and 75% of those are from students of that same class. So we see how the internet is given so much, but at the same time it's creating an environment, it's creating a place in which people are being trained to let the internet choose for them. People are being trained to not see things for themselves. People are being trained in a way to kind of let value be determined by the masses. And that's the thought that Shilasek was bringing. And that's the thought that's making me right now continue the podcast even when the masses are not here in this place. Hopefully the masses come after this and they see how this was made before they all came, because we had a vision and a sense, a feeling for the masses coming in the future, but we're not desperate, or we're not giving up because we don't see them today. So in a way, I'm trying to say that the vision, when your vision is strong enough, and this helps you, the listener, and anyone, you can act and behave today, right now, in the present, as if you already had all that which you envision that this will lead you to. So if you're a creator and you understand that you have a lot of value and there's some genius in you and there's some brilliance in you, creators, then you can do whatever you do, even when you have 2 or 3 followers, even when you have 1 follower, you have 1 subscriber, 2, 3 views. Whatever you do, you can do it as if you have 3, 4, 5 million views or followers or people looking at you, because because you can see all the people that could benefit from it. Because you could see in your mind all the people that will come because of your content and because of the value you offer and how good and original you are, your personality, your genius, whatever it is. The more you believe in it, the more you could act as if you already had all that which you could accomplish in a few months or years. So I believe it's almost like tricking your brain into seeing right now what you could easily have in the future. And if your genius and ability and talent is so great and amazing, then that thing which you will have in the future, or which you see right now that you will have in the future, that thing could be, if your genius is crazy, creativity is very high, that could be way less. Meaning, you imagine, or what will happen, this is the best way to say it, what will happen in the future will go beyond your wildest imagination. So let's say you're so good and you have so much confidence in your talent and abilities that you are envisioning yourself right now, even though you have 2 viewers, 2 followers, whatever, you envision yourself as if you had already 1 million. And if you're so good and you act and behave and think and feel as if you had 1 million already, and if your genius and creativity is so good and out of this world that you just put all of it out there, you could easily extract not 1 million, but like 10, 20, 30, 40 million. Who knows? So that is the purpose of trying to make people think against the herd, against the masses. Because if you're a creator and you let the masses determine who you are, your value, your abilities, your genius, then you will not be as good as you could be. Because you cannot just have the numbers tell you who you are, because everyone has to start with low numbers at the beginning. And even if it's been a few months or years and you still have few numbers, doesn't mean your stuff is not good. Doesn't mean you don't have value. It just means that the herd mentality is still an obstacle to you, for you. And that's what we want to avoid, to fall victim to the illusion of low value, of no value at all, because of the phenomenon of the herd mentality, because of the phenomenon of people seeing that, oh, there's not a lot of views here, so let me not see it. But as we were mentioning, the visionary, the person on higher states of consciousness, the people who make money, investors, you know what they can see? Scouts. They can see your stuff when you have 1 or 2 views, and they can see that you have potential to reach hundreds of millions. That your art, your artistic genius has the ability to just break the status quo and break through norms and break through the current superstars, or not break through it, but rather attract a lot of people that are not being attracted by the current top biggest names. Once they see that in you, then they go for you. they follow, they subscribe, they reach out to you, because these people, the brightest and most brilliant, they can see the future in you. They can see the future before it happens. Although nobody can actually 100% predict the future, but those who have best ability to see the future before it happens are the ones who benefit the most of the future itself. So in this project, we're trying to help people, actually legit, in a genuine manner, help people improve themselves and improve their future. But the herd mentality is not letting those that are part of the herd itself join the movement, because, well, nobody else is in the movement, so why would I join the movement? They would only join the movement when they see that a whole bunch of others have already joined the movement, and at that point they're not going to benefit as much as the first ones to join the movement, because they had a vision and they saw the future. But right now it's very hard to break up that mentality in other people. It's very hard to go inside of society and try to help people to not think in this way, to not be a part of the pack that just follows wherever the big herd guide takes them to. Nevertheless, it is obviously, this is an attempt at, if someday in the future, hopefully soon, the herd comes back here, I just want them to know that this was done when the herd wasn't here, when the masses were not here. And the fact that there's no masses here right now, there's no herd here right now, doesn't mean that there couldn't be one soon in the future. So as you hear, if you are before the herd, then I encourage you to think for yourself, to reason for yourself, and not let the herd reason for you, not let the internet, not let the big groups, not let the trends, not let coding systems, algorithms think for you. You think for yourself. And once you start thinking for yourself, you then can find opportunities that others, the masses, don't see. You then can find opportunities that the herds don't see, don't find, don't understand, don't capture, because they are incapable of seeing anything that's not what everybody else is seeing. And you don't want to be that, because if you are that, then you will be just like everyone else, and you wouldn't be better than everyone else, because you are being exactly the same as everyone else and thinking like everyone else. So the only result you will get is being like everyone else. So I absolutely agree with the comment and the inspiration to keep going, because this could serve as a call for the future masses and myself to see and to understand that not having a lot of followers or views does not define you, does not define your value, does not define your channel, your podcast, your YouTube, your Facebook, your page, your website, your idea. You as a person are not defined by the views. And using reasoning, you could very well see and understand that whoever's super big today, whoever has a lot of views, there had to be a point in which they didn't have a lot of views, usually at the beginning, in which they didn't have a lot of followers, but they still were who they are. And they became who they are because they believed that they had value, or somebody believed that they had value, and they kept going. So if you came too late to this in the future, I'm talking to people in the future from right now, then that would mean that you even didn't get to see it, didn't get to be marketed with this, or you were able to see it, you were marketed with it, but you didn't pay attention. Nevertheless, now you have learned the lesson. And the lesson is that you should always pay attention, even if there seems to be not a lot of people following, because you never know what you are seeing. You never know which opportunity is in front of you. Now, if you get another opportunity to see something in which there's not a lot of people, then you can pay attention and try to use the reasoning that you have. I'm not saying that every opportunity that you see in which there are not a lot of people is gonna blow up in the future, but I'm trying to say that if you use your reasoning, your vision, your thinking, then you can spot something that's about to blow up before it blows up. So that is the advice. And obviously nowadays it's super hard to make it not seem like a scam. It's very hard to organically promote something that's good and not make it seem like it is a scam, because there are a lot of scammers. So your eye must be refined even more at this point, because you're not only having to filter out all the scams, all the things that have no value, all the things that are trying to get your money, all the things that are simply a waste. You have to filter all of that out and then find within those things the very few that are not a scam, that are not a waste, that have a lot of value, and that can serve to help you grow and benefit today and in the future. For some reason, those who can find those things the fastest, the earliest, can benefit the most, as you should know by now from experience. And the funny thing is that after many people see opportunities like those go away from their hands throughout time, they still in the future are still incapable of catching another rising star, catching another opportunity. But those are special types, those who can catch on early. And so, with that being said, we want to give thanks to Shilasek for the input, for the information, for the wisdom, and motivate you guys and ourselves to keep going. Keep going. Do not think like the mass. Do not let the mass think for you. Do not be part of the herd. Use your reasoning. Use your brain. Use your ability to understand so that you are capable of seeing what others don't see, of grasping before anybody else grabs the concept of the future the ability to predict the future with more certainty than others, because remember, nobody can predict the future as it will be, but there are many people who could get much more clear glimpses of what the future holds and what the future of any given specific platform, channel, idea, concept could be potentially. So that is everything. We're hoping that you get benefit from it, that you learn, and if you want, you follow. If you don't want, you don't, because there is no pressure. There shouldn't be any pressure, only if you want. But the purpose is to help others grow and ourselves grow. So win-win should be always the best way. Win-win for you, win-win for others. And when you win and others win, winning seems to be amplified and multiplied. With this, I leave you. Peace, love, philosophy of, for, and by the people. Thank you for listening. Goodbye.
Wow, that was so good.
I told you.
Now I feel the necessity to use my reasoning before looking at anything, before seeing anything. I want to use my reasoning to choose.
Me too. I don't want to let machines or software determine what I see, what I watch, what comes up in my feed.
Exactly, I want to determine value with my own reasoning.
Me too.
Well, that was very good.
I told you it was gonna be.
Like last time, can you please leave the music on? It sounds pretty good.
Okay, I got you.
Alright, I'll see you next episode.
I'll see you next episode. Take care. Bye.